Hi, fun and fascinating IEW class. I'm excited to be back with y'all this week. We are continuing onward in summarizing a reference, and that is just a reminder, instead of making a keyword outline from each sentence you read, that's y'all recently reading a text, group of paragraphs, and picking out your 5 to 7 favorite facts, and then making your keyword outline with those and making a 1-paragraph report from those key facts rather than each sentence. So we're continuing on in that. I'm going to have you guys following along in the book with me today. I want you to go ahead and find page 93 in your workbook. You'll see it's lesson 12 on honeybees. And I'm going to give you a minute to get there, page 93, honeybees. And we're going to start here, but we're actually going to hop right into lesson 13. So be ready to turn some pages with me. All right, pause if you need some more time, but otherwise, if you're there, here we go. Under review, toward the top of the page, you'll see review. You'll see 1, 2, 3. We're going to start with number 1. What is the difference between its and its? You'll see the second its has an apostrophe S. And a reminder is, I'm going to start with the second one. Whenever you have its and there's an apostrophe S, it represents it is. The first its, with no apostrophe right there, stands for ownership of something. For example, if we were talking about a dog's bone, we would say its bone with no apostrophe. It has ownership. So that's the difference between it and its. And remember, anytime you see that apostrophe S with its, it's talking about it is. Number 2, review. What is the difference between bee's hive and bee's hive? We went over last week in our slideshow the possessiveness, adding apostrophe S or just apostrophe, based on most of the time if it's singular, meaning just one noun, or plural, more than one of the noun. And typically if it's singular, you're adding apostrophe S. So for that first one that's written down here, what's the difference between bee's hive and it has the apostrophe S? Do you see that in number 2? What is the difference between bee's hive? The apostrophe S means one bee. So if we said that bee's hive, we're talking about that one particular bee. Or the next one, it says, and bees, B-E-E-S apostrophe, hive, we're talking about many bees. Like if we saw a swarm of bees heading for their hive, we would say the bee's hive, many of the bees belonging to that hive or owning that hive. So that's number 2. Number 3, in the sentence below, where are the apostrophes needed? So let's read it together. Read along with me. The honeybee's hive is amazing. It's called a honeycomb because its cells store honey. All right, let's look at the first sentence. The honeybee's hive is amazing. Honeybee's hive, is it talking about one bee, do you think, or multiple bees? Let's see, it's talking about multiple bees, lots of bees. Then we would say honeybees and add an apostrophe on the end because it's plural, more than one. Does that make sense? The second sentence, we're going to have to look really hard at the its. So let's look at the first one. It's called a honeycomb. Are we trying to say it is called a honeycomb, or it's, meaning it's in ownership, it's called a honeycomb? Well, it's pretty easy. It's probably meaning, or it is meaning, it is called a honeycomb. If you can put it is in there, that's what you want to have, an apostrophe S. So we would add an apostrophe there. It's called a honeycomb because it's cells. It has ownership of those cells. Therefore, when it's shows ownership or possession, do we add an apostrophe to it? No. So we leave that it's alone. All right. Thanks for following along in the book today. I actually want y'all to go way over to page 97. And we're going to hop into lesson 13 here on page 97. And we're going to do 2 reviews, and then we're actually going to introduce a new dress up. Review number 1. What is the topic clincher rule? Well, your topic sentence, as a reminder, is your first sentence that introduces your subject or title, and your clincher is the last sentence in the paragraph that reminds the reader what the topic was. And the rule is there must be 2 to 3 key words that either repeat or reflect one another in each of those sentences. So you'll highlight them before you turn in your final copy, preferably your draft. Highlight your 2 to 3 keywords in your topic sentence of that paragraph, and also highlight them in your last clincher sentence of that paragraph. And they either repeat exactly or they reflect, meaning they're synonyms. For example, say awesome was one of your keywords in your topic sentence. Down here in your clincher, you could have fantastic. It's not the same as awesome, but they reflect one another. So that's a reminder about your topic clincher rule. Number 2, read under the review. What is wrong in the following sentences? Army ants get other ants and make them their slaves. I'm going to give you a second to look at that, and I want you to see if you can figure out what is off in that sentence. Army ants get other ants and make them their slaves. And if you were looking really hard at the word their, where it says their slaves, you're right. They're using the wrong there. That is T-H-E-R right there, meaning as in, I'm gonna go over there. But when we say their things, we wanna use T-H-E-I-R. So, gotta watch those homophones and make sure you're using the proper one. Let's look at the second sentence. Army ants go out in the night. Army ants go out in the night. I am pausing, y'all. I forgot to look at this one ahead of time. Can you find what is off in that sentence? It's not showing ownership. I'm going back to page 80 on this one. Now I'm going to page 155. I hope I give you guys hope. Oh, I found it. Did you figure out what it was? Go is a banned word. That's what's wrong in that sentence. So it would be so much more effective. And in IEW, we do not use banned words. So instead, you're gonna say, army ants rush out in the night. Army ants sneak out in the night. But we're not gonna use a banned word, go. So that's what was wrong with that sentence. Alrighty, I wanna teach you guys a new dress up. Turn the page, if you would, all the way 2 pages over to page 100. And at the bottom of the page, you'll see in bold, it says the 3 SSSs. 3 SSS. All right, you ready to read along together? Pause it if you need more time. But when you're there, we're ready. In this lesson, try a new decoration. The 3 SSS, or the 3 S's. 3 SSS stands for 3 short sentences. Staccato sentences, sorry. 3 short staccato sentences. And if you do anything with music, you'll know that staccato means short. So it's like dink on the piano. It's a short note. Same with these sentences. This decoration is really just 3 number 6 sentences in a row, which you learned were short sentences. Here is a sample. Army ants can be found in the rainforests of South America. Their colonies are enormous, reaching up to 20 million. They are vicious. They kill everything. They are unstoppable. So those bold words were their 3 short staccato sentences. So you're going to add that decoration into this week's writing. And it adds a nice flow to your writing. And that's what they're teaching you, is these beautiful dress-ups and decorations that give a nice flow, and it's lovely to the reader as you add those. So with that, we're going to go ahead and turn 1 page back to page 98. And your actual writing this week is going to be on army ants. So I want you to read along with me as I introduce this text to you. And then we're just going to review the checklist together, and you're going to be off on your way to do your keyword outline. I want you to be listening for the 5 to 7 key facts that are the most fascinating or interesting to you. If you even want to have a pencil and put a little circle, star, or whatever mark you want to put or underline kind of your favorite facts as we're going through, you're welcome to do that. Here we go. Army ants. Army ants are the deadliest ants in the world. In fact, they are vicious. They live in the rainforest. Their colonies are enormous, with up to 20 million ants. During the day, they set up camp by locking themselves together with their jaws and legs. The queen and the eggs are protected inside the massive wall of ants. At night, the worker ants go out to look for food. They form a long column. They attack and kill anything that gets in their way. They kill and eat lizards, snakes, chickens, pigs, goats, and scorpions. They even climb trees to eat birds and insects. They raid other ant nests and capture ant slaves. Army ants can kill and eat up to 100,000 animals in a day. You don't want to get in their way. When the army has taken all the food from an area, the ants pick up camp and move to a new area. They do not make permanent nests. They are nomadic savages. So, you are going to pick your 5 to 7 key facts that are interesting to you. And over on page 99, you are going to fill in from 1 to 5, 6, or 7, but at least to 5, your key words for those facts. So just as an example, if that note about, let's see, the army ants can kill and eat up to 100,000 animals in a day, you can key in on that and put down your key facts. And with that one, you've got some symbols to use, because when you write in 100,000, that counts as a symbol, not as your word. And if you're loving this and you even want to combine some, like when do most of the army ants do their killing? Well, at night, right? Because that's when it said at night, the worker ants go out and look for food. So you may combine that. You may say in your keyword outline, you may put night, comma, animals. Well, you say night, comma, up arrow, comma, 100,000, comma. So far, we've only used one keyword here, night. And then we've got 2 symbols, up and 100,000. So at night, up to 100,000 ants go out, comma, And you could say food. You could put even an I and say food, or look, food. And you've got that interesting fact of they go out at night to do their hunting. You could say up to, that would translate to up to 100,000. Guys, I'm so sorry. At night, they go out to hunt, and they can kill up to 100,000. Woo! That is a lot of killing. Animals for food. And then I guess you'd have to put day. You'd have day as one of your words. Okay, I feel like that got a little muddled. But you understand the concept of you had one fact in one part of the paragraph, another fact in another part of the paragraph. When they hunt, how much they're hunting, and you can combine those onto a line for your keyword outline, is what I'm trying to say here. Alrighty. Your topic, remember, and they've given you your opening, army ants. And you're gonna add in 2 more keywords here. I want you to add in 2 more keywords for your topic sentence. Remember, those words must be written down here in your clincher to repeat or reflect for your topic clincher rule. Don't forget to highlight them before you turn them in for your draft and your final draft. All right, your moms, your teachers are probably going to assign you page 100 for your brainstorming to help you think of quality adjectives, strong verbs, ly words to use in your writing. And your checklist, make sure you look it over before you write. It's going to give you very key reminders, such as making sure your paragraph has that topic sentence, making sure you have your clincher, reminding you to highlight your reflected words, which we've touched on a lot. I know we really drove that home today, that your title reflects words from your clincher. So you're going to take those 2 to 3 highlighted words in your title and your clincher, and you're going to use them to make your title. You don't have to use all 3, but you're going to use at least 1, if not 2, to reflect your title. Note toward the bottom of your checklist here that under decorations, 3 short staccato sentences are added in. So be sure to add that into your writing this week. The other thing I want to remind you is your dress ups, your sentence openers, you are underlining them or labeling them off to the left in your margin so that your teachers can quickly be identifying where your checklist items are, and they can check those off for you and quickly give you credit for them. I think the last thing I'm just going to give a quick reminder on, I want you to go to page 101, and this is just an extra reminder on grammar help. You'll see a box at the top of the page. When you're ready, you can pause the video if you need to. When you're ready, I want you to read this with me. You're going to separate your items in a list with commas. So look here at the example. Army ants eat lizards, comma, snakes, comma, chickens, comma, goats, comma, and almost every living thing that stands in their way. So anytime you're listing things, which is 3 or more, make sure you're separating them by commas. Note, you will sometimes see the comma before the and left out, but we don't follow that practice. Even put those commas in before the and. So if you say snakes, comma, chickens, comma, goats, comma, and almost every living thing, put the commas all the way through, even before the and. If you guys have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out to me. You have fabulous teachers to walk you through this. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Enjoy this 1 paragraph week, because next week we are going to have multiple paragraphs in our summarizing references writing. So this will be a great week. Y'all have a good one, and I'll look forward to touching base with you later. Bye for now, y'all.